97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. Coming up at 2, the best show ever with Tyrone Johnson, Ricky Vitalik.
This beautiful Monday afternoon. So glad you could join us today, as does Amy Fadul from NBC Sports Philadelphia. You got a good day today. See, you and I look at work.
This is the best kind of day, right? You go right in.
Yeah, like I was saying to you, we were talking about something. I said, oh, God, I just love the weekends. And I kind of become that, like, I really like being home on the weekends.
Yeah.
I mean, we always go out. We always have something to do. We went out Friday night. We ran around yesterday in the city to do some things, to look for apartments from somebody. But anyway, I do. I've become kind of a weekend homebody. And you go, weekends are all the same. And as you said, it because of your work schedule, it is. And my work schedule used to be that. Yeah. Like 8 months out of the year was 24/7 for me with the Sixers. Actually, it was more than that. And then, sometimes you get a little time off. But it is. Like, I keep forgetting that I have to come back in tonight to do pregame. But I don't care. Like,
You're talking sports.
Yeah.
That's what's so great.
Like, I love doing it. It's not like, oh, man, I got to go home, come back.
It's the best.
None of us care. That's why we all love our jobs.
That's why we do it.
Ray, I can't speak for.
He loves it.
But I think he has an affinity for his job.
I do.
As far as
I do
can
very
tell.
much enjoy my job.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry that did not come across to you over the month that we've worked together.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't come across. I was just, I didn't want to speak for you.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you for giving me my job.
Yeah, so as you know, every once in a while I'll tell today, and how was your weekend? Oh, it was great. I had the tailgate on Saturday. He said birthday weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He said I had everyone I love right there, so I didn't need anything else. And
you weren't there.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, you asked.
I felt the tear well up in my left eye, just my left eye.
I thought I saw something, but then you put sunglasses on, and I didn't see anything else.
You don't want to stop with the sob story.
It's right. If you know me, I have a foundation of truth. I am not kidding you. Like,
he wanted to be there.
I know he wanted to be there, and he was told that he could come, but he had work obligations. I couldn't change everything because he had work.
I did it on Saturday. But
you did.
You did.
You literally were on the air the 3 hours in which the tailgate occurred. There could not have been more of a conflict.
Yeah, when we talk about how every day is like the same, that's why. You completely forgot you're on the radio for like 3 hours.
I did. Yes.
At the same time, Billy's.
So my eye welled up with a tear for absolutely no reason.
But I appreciate the emotion. Yeah. Couldn't have been there. You were literally on the pregame
frustrating him. He thinks this is the greatest thing about Egan, and I don't have this same thing going on with you at all, Ray. But with Egan, like, he could never, to this day, tell if I was telling the truth. Like, I could walk in here, like, in the morning, and he'd be like, how you doing? I'd be like, oh, man, I just hit a dog on the way in. Like, something stupid, and I'm an idiot. And he'd be like, oh, man, what happened? I'd make up this whole
every
story.
time?
And I would go, like, whatever.
I feel like Ray's a little bit more discerning.
I think Ray's smarter. Let's just
don't
call
do
it.
that to
I don't do that to Pat. You have to see him at 6. Don't forget, you have to work tonight at 6.
Yeah, I'll put a little poster on my forehead, Ray. Don't you worry about it. Okay, so we're looking forward to this Sixers game tonight. It's just about 6.5 hours away. I don't like the 7:30 start. I'm more of a sevensman.
7 o'clock. Well, the 7:30, I want it to be that way when it's at home because it takes a smidge longer for people to get to the game. So I appreciate the 30-minute delay. But no, I'm a 7 o'clock. 7:05. Of course, the tip slide on Saturday was brutal.
Perfect.
No, that was brutal.
For you,
I'm
brutal?
ready to go. Like, let's go. And they're tip sliding at 10 minutes because of that. What, the Pelicans? I don't even know what game it was.
Yeah, well, I don't. Dallas, wasn't it? Dallas Mavericks,
Sure.
Maybe? I don't know.
It was some blowout. And I was like, what are we doing? No, Timberwolves. It was Timberwolves.
Okay. So it was, 5:45?
Yeah, Timberwolves Suns.
When we had to be out of the pregame show. So I had bag packed, took off, left my headphones around my neck, which I left in the car. And, so I bowled out of here because I want to go home and watch the game. It couldn't have been more perfect.
Yeah,
I got home right as Josh Hart hit that three-pointer to start the game. And it's horrible traffic on the Schuylkill, too.
Yeah.
So the game, I don't think, started till like 6:26, somewhere around there for a 6 o'clock game. Tonight, 7:30, is it TNT tonight or ESPN tonight?
TNT.
It's
then it's
obviously NBC Sports Philadelphia. You're welcome.
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
Absolutely.
I wasn't obviously watching on there. My
You're
think
welcome.
I'm no my what
It's
I'm
not
saying is
ESPN.
it's not going to be
So,
delayed.
yeah,
Right.
ESPN,
That was
they're
our thought
notorious.
process.
Oh, there's not even
Yeah.
question about Ala and Kate on the watch.
you got it.
Even when I went over to watch the second half over at our
But yeah,
friends Nick and Mary Lou's.
ESPN tends to have later tips anyway, and then the tip slide because they had the game beforehand on another
Yes.
channel was brutal. That was
Yes.
really rough. But
Yeah.
they finally started. I think they just jumped the game. The Timberwolves were up by 20, and they just said, "All right, we're done."
I'll tell you how much I love watching your guys' game shows because I had to ask Donna if you had two different pink dresses or if it was the same. Because you went 2 days in a row with a pink. You wore pink in here and did but then you wore another pink dress
Yes.
like 2 nights later.
Yes,
Am I right?
it was like a salmon color, but yes, it was. It was in the
Come on, dude.
it was in the color family. We'll give it.
Who's in the color
It was in
family?
the color family. I keep track
Maybe
of
my
stuff.
TV's off. I don't know.
Well, it's
Wow.
a different style too.
Blame
One had like
TV.
buttons. One was like a silky. One
Yeah,
with
I'm
a
not
tie.
that good
Yeah,
with that
exactly. That's
stuff.
fine.
Yeah.
It's all right. You good?
I'm not. I don't in my closet all that much.
No, you
so
don't.
I wouldn't know. Tasty Cake Dom, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Dom?
Hey, Bob, how are you?
Doing great. How you doing, buddy?
Boy, I'm doing great.
Say hi to
Yeah,
my friend Amy.
Hi, Dom.
Yeah, she's terrific. You guys do such a great job on pregame and postgame. You know, Coach Jimmy is a G. You guys do a great job, Amy.
Thanks, Dom.
So, and the other thing I want to say, I was pretty frustrated after that game. Boy, did Ray do a great job venting yesterday.
Oh, is that what
I
he
mean-
did? He vented?
Yeah, he was about as frustrated, Ray, about that. What I wanted to ask you and Amy, Bob, is okay. Here's what I saw. Uncle Frank said, put a body on people. I saw a lot of physicality underneath that basket. I saw the Sixers getting pushed out of the way. Like, if you're Nick Nurse, what are you guys to do to contend? In other words, if they cut that rebounding deficit in half, right, Bob, they win that game going away, right?
I
mean,
would say so because of all the second chance points the Knicks got. Yeah, you're right on that,
I mean,
Dom.
they played great defense. They got stops. It was points that Charles Robinson was a bull in a china closet. So I wanted to ask you and Amy, if Nick Nurse, what do you do to end with that? What adjustment do you make?
Well, thanks, Dom. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you later on in the week, buddy. There's one thing that we brought up that you could have B-Ball Paul in
Right.
the lineup along with Joel Embiid.
To get some of those. The thing is, they're not all right under the basket. I think that's yes. There was obviously tons of rebounds that are coming right off of the rim, and you're getting frustrated because I think those are the ones that are so egregious because it's right there, and that's a 50-50
Right.
ball in a lot of people's minds. But there's a lot of those long rebounds that you just see, like people just watch as it sails right into a Knick player hands. Oh, okay. That's you should treat that like a 50-50 ball as well. I think maybe that's what it is. It's got to be a gang effort, like a group effort of like it's everybody's responsibility now. It's not people under the low post, it's everybody. And I know that they brought up like boxing out and putting the butts in the guts. Boxing out is part of it, but part of it is being aware. You have to just be more aware.
Yeah, some people aren't good at reading
Right.
how a rebound is coming off. That's one disadvantage where you are. So what do you tell that type of player if you Nick Nurse? I don't care that you don't get it. Don't let your man get it.
Yeah.
Like that has to be it's a 50-50 battle and you have to come up with more of them. That's one of the if not the biggest thing that happened on Saturday that has to be corrected.
Yeah.
We can talk about Tobias Harris has to make shots and this and that, but that has to be a thing that has to be cut way down. All right, tonight, Aim, you look at this game. We saw what we saw on Saturday night. We know the deficiencies that are now, popping in with the knee, with the sunglasses, with the sickness and all. Besides Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey for tonight, who are the ones that we are speaking of when it comes to sickness. If you haven't heard, Tyrese has been downgraded to questionable for tonight's game because of a sickness. Joel Embiid has the knee, but also now is walking around wearing sunglasses all the time. We don't know if that's from getting hit in the eye the other night or if that's going to hinder him or not. Maybe tonight he wears the rec specs. We'll see what happens. But after those two, Aim, Who's your most important player for this Sixers team tonight?
I mean, it's going to sound Kelly Oubre, I think, is the obvious answer just from defensively what you saw on Jalen Brunson. That is such a key. You have to keep that effort up. But I'm going to say Kyle Lowry. And I don't know that I would have said that 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
You and I talked in one of our breaks that I don't know if you told me 3 months ago that you're going to get 39 minutes from Kyle Lowry. I thought, whoa, what's gone wrong? It's what's going right when he's out there. I need him to be that guy. We talked about expectations. Can you expect him to play 38-plus minutes and get you 14 points and affect the game in the way? Can you expect that? I mean, I want to. I want to expect that because I think I need that. You have to get a split up there. Going down 2-0 is just not a question. You're just building too much of a hill for you guys to climb. So I think the clear answer is Kelly Oubre offensively, but doing the exact same. But for me, the next guy, when you ask, all right, you know what you're going to get from Tyrese, you hope, you think you know what you're going to get from Joel Embiid, I need the exact same from Kyle Lowry just because of how much he affects the game.
And if you have to cut his minutes, look, he went 40 or no, what did he go 38 the other night?
Yeah.
If you feel the need to cut his minutes, I don't. I'm playing the guy till his wheels fall off, just like you said earlier. Not, that whole. Well, you don't want to play him all this game one because you want to save him for. There ain't no series to save for if you're not playing the best players out there. But if he looks a little tired or whatever, he was getting open shots the other night.
Yeah.
Why? Because Tyrese Maxey was driving the ball really effectively to the basket. Because defenders are keeping an eye on Joel Embiid when he was going to the post, to the foul line of where he should be. If he was getting open shots from there, I have no problem saying, "Hey, buddy," not like friendly buddy, healed. Hey, buddy, I need you to get where he is.
You're that guy now.
Yeah, and you need to make some shots. He took a shot the other night, Buddy Hield did, and I wish we were sitting together because it was one of those. As soon as it left his hands, we were over our neighbor's house, and I said, "Nope,
not going in."
That wasn't the one because his feet just weren't set. He had to shuffle the feet just ever so slightly before he went up for the shot, and he wasn't squared up to the way he's going to make a basket. So Kyle Lowry was the guy that I put on for the series, being that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to back away from it at all. So Kyle Lowry, I agree with you for everything that he has to bring. But now I'm going to add in there. Look, a Nick Batum, I'm not expecting 20 out of him like he did against Miami. I expect all the little intangibles. I expect him to be a big key as to why New York doesn't have that huge advantage in offensive rebounds. But, yeah, Kelly Oubre, I need him to be dangerous.
Yeah.
I need him when he gets the ball in his hand like, oh, where did he go? The Knicks proved something the other day. They can be driven on.
Mm-hmm.
They can be driven on. And Anunoby, as good as a defender he is, he goes for ball fakes, and he can be driven. And with Kelly Oubre being left-handed, it's still weird. People still don't know what to do against lefties.
It all you want. They just can't. They see it. It's like you see it, you know it, and yet you're almost powerless against it.
It's incredible.
And he's sneaky fast. I think people don't. He's so athletic. I don't think you appreciate it sometimes. So you mentioned Anunoby, the guy that for all of his skill set is great. Not the quickest guy, right? He's a bigger, lumbering type of guy.
Yeah.
So defensively, I would think that's a matchup that Oubre should be able to exploit. We talked about earlier. You're worried about trading off some of the defense for the offense. I think he can give you a little bit more while still giving defense. And I think he's going to be the first to say that.
So let me ask you, would you consider going a different way? Would you consider
Lineup-wise?
playing – no, not lineup-wise, but would you consider playing Jalen Brunson more straight up and then say, I'm going to take away everything – I want to try to take away everything else because if you look at it, it was the McBrides, it was the Harts, it was the Bogdanoviches. Those were the guys that really killed you last game. Would you rather say, all right, you know what? We're going straight up. Tyrese, Kyle, one of you two guys has Jalen Brunson, and we're going to try to live with it.
Well, if it's Kyle Lowry, I might live with it more than I would Tyrese because I think that you just can't trade off so much there on offense, defense. That's a little too big of a trade-off for me. And, Tyrese Maxey, fine. Defensively, he's going to get there. He's not there yet as far as what he could do on Jalen Brunson. That's why when you see this matchup in the 4 times during the season, you didn't see – it wasn't a traditional guard-to-guard matchup for those two guys, obviously defending one another. That's not how it worked because they know what they have to do with Jalen Brunson. He's such a winner. He's going to find crafty ways. I don't know that you can go one-on-one. I like the idea of their thing was we're going to shut Jalen down or limit him as much as we can and let everybody else beat him. The problem is everybody else did beat you.
Yes, don't let him beat you tonight maybe. Maybe you don't change that. Why would I change something good? That's the defense on Jalen Brunson. It did.
Yeah,
hey guys, you got to get on your guys
and
better.
You need to make the shots.
And look, offensive rebounds don't come as much when teams are shooting inside a lane because Those are the shots closer, smaller rebounds. It's the long rebounds that they got a lot of offensive rebounds around the rim. I'm not mistaken on that. But let's not forget that a lot of their rebounds were the long ones from 3-point shots. You can't allow it to happen tonight. Karate Mark, my man, is on the line. What's going on, Mark? How you doing today?
Bobby Basketball, what's up? Amy, what's up?
Hi, Mark.
All right, so if Joe and Maxie are playing tonight, I'm going to need 30, 35 from them, and they've shown that was doable as long as they're both healthy. From
All right,
Tobias,
so 60-plus from them.
and we'll call it even 60. I'm going to get to Tobias in a minute. From Lowry, I'm going to need about 15 or 16 from Lowry. I'm asking a lot from Oubre. I'm going to need Oubre to do his thing on Jalen. Oubre did nice on Jalen the other day. You're not going to stop him, but you can at least contain him, slow him down a little bit. So I'm going to need that plus 14 to 16 from Oubre. Tobias, I need Tobias. Tobias, I need you to score 18 points tonight,
Oh.
Tobias.
Wow.
Tobias, 18 points. That's what I need from you. And I need you to not let New York get second chance points and offensive rebounds. We do that. Our bench does its thing. We beat the Knicks tonight.
All right, I'm down with that,
That's
I think.
That's 110 points.
I was just adding it up. You're
quick math right there. 70.
And that's
pretty good
0
by you.
points from the bench. That's
Wow.
0 points
Yeah.
from the
So
bench.
obviously you're thinking Buddy Hield might contribute a little bit.
Buddy Hield, give me 6. Give me 6. That's
We're
what
at 16. They
All
don't
right.
lose a
It's
game. They don't lose a game. They
Starting
score
5
160.
does its thing. We are a better team. Starting 5
All right.
does its thing. We win this game. End of story.
All right, let me ask you a question. Now, it's only 115, 120 on Monday. How many times have you gotten punched in the head today?
0, but I took a pretty vicious knee about a half hour ago.
That's not a fun way to make a living, Mark, but you are so good at it, and we appreciate all that you do for the community, buddy.
You guys are the best. 10-9-8. Love y'all.
All right, buddy, take
Sounds good.
care. That's Karate Mark, and for those that don't know, yeah, he's like a
The karate-
quadruple back, but like he could kill all of us in this
Yeah,
room
black
with his
belts on
pinky,
black belts.
with his pinky or his little toe.
Little toe
That's right.
with the feet.
Right back to the feet.
I
Guy's got
said
one
it right.
thing on his mind.
I said it right. Live with it. T Love's on the cell. What's going on, T Love?
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, buddy?
Oh man, I'm good. Listen, I've been out. Hey, Amy, how are you?
T Love, what's up?
Right on. I love what you guys do every day. I'm out. I've been out of town for the most of the season. I'm still out of town. That's why I haven't called in a while. But I'm really for the Sixers. That's my team, man. But they really got me a little shook right now.
What's the biggest reason,
Yeah.
T Love? Why?
I was never in favor of the Kyle Lowry trade or what they did to bring him in. I think they did themselves a real disservice by not going out and get a real center to back up the position. It's telling on itself now. I've been in favor. I think they should have switched to a Twin Towers offense a long time ago. You got a guy who's a great player but will not play the post. He's becoming more and more of a perimeter player. You see now he can't jump. He's having problems in the middle. I just think that they should have concentrated on bringing in a real center, you know, and it would help them a lot more. If he's going to play on the outside, okay, and he's developed a good shot and everything, you need somebody to grab. Those rebounds are not being grabbed underneath. There's no bang, no real heavy presence underneath. Why is Mo Bamba still on this team? Please, somebody tell me. I love B-Ball Paul, but B-Ball Paul is not the answer at center or even backup center. It just doesn't make sense. Kelly Oubre, man, give me 2 or 3 more of him, and I'm not begging Tobias Harris to score because if he's not doing it by now, he's never going to do it.
T Love, appreciate you checking in. Hope everything's going well with you, even though you're not in our great city now. But I find it funny. Now, T was the first guy that really called and said he had a concern today,
Yes.
right? I find it funny that some people's first thing that they go to are the backup center. Why is Mo Bamba still on the team? Ricky Council needs more minutes. KJ Martin, if you need, like,
We got the 5.
Is there other stuff there
Yeah.
that I'm missing?
We got the 5.
Yeah,
We
right?
got the 5.
Yeah.
I get so his point. I think in the fact that I hope he's not disappointed with what Kyle Lowry's given. Maybe it's the fact that they just got Kyle Lowry and did not get a backup big. because Kyle Lowry was out there for the taking on the free agent market. I think that's a tremendous pickup in what you've seen. I think they tried. I think there was some thought to try to get. There wasn't anybody really out there. You're looking at some guys that were out there in the backup center role that you don't want, right? A James Wiseman. I don't need him. What do you need him for? What's he gonna do?
Yeah,
Robin Lopez.
Even hurt, Joel Embiid went 39 minutes. You're talking about what's that? My math is bad. That's like 9 minutes that you need somebody to be a backup center. So,
and I think B-Ball Paul has shown that he can be that type of guy. I think sometimes folks get a little bit locked into, I need a traditional center and I need you to be right there in the low post all the time. Those days are gone. You don't need that guy. I think it glares its head sometimes when you look at the rebounding, but if you watch that game, while there were plenty of rebounds that were missed right under the basket, I would say probably 50% of them were missed 10 feet and away. And that your traditional center doesn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, no.
You don't have a traditional center anymore. That guy doesn't exist.
You kind of don't have a traditional center. That goes by the wayside. All right, I've been teasing this, and we're going to get out of here right
Nico
after.
Batum?
I've been teasing Nico Batum for a long, long time, and he had, I thought, what was a great, great quote. And I don't know if a lot of people saw it or if a lot of people just didn't talk about it, but here's what he said. We know what we did wrong, and we found a way, I think, now this is this morning, to do something special with us. I won't tell you what. Nico Batum is, and I'm calling him Nico, I fell into the trap, but he is one of the smarter basketball IQ guys, and I'm talking, I was friends with a writer down in Charlotte who became friends with Nick Batum and told me all the time how smart of a guy he was on the basketball court and off it also. But he is a smart basketball player. That Nick Nurse appears to have come up with something that made him go, whoa.
I've seen a lot of basketball.
This is cool. Yeah, there might be something to that there. All right, when we get back, I want to ask Amy specifically what she needs out of whom. Karate Mark kind of just gave it to us on an offensive standpoint, but let's look at the team as a whole also. This is Middays. Amy Fadul's joining.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers try to even it up. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. The 76ers look to split up in New York City as they fell in Game 1 of the series. Can you?
Wiser?
He just seems, you seem more my age now.
No, that's going to take a lot of birthdays, Bob.
I thought we weren't doing this. You said we
went over
weren't going to
this
do
with
this, and
friends.
I was just trying to give you a compliment, and you go directly to that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm
That's how
not
that was.
mad.
No, it's all right. You
know.
can just be disappointed.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, yeah.
1 o'clock hour. It's brought to you by Ferguson HVAC Lyon Conklin. Attention HVAC contractors for equipment, parts, and supplies for every heating and cooling job. Visit one of Ferguson's counter locations in Bensalem, King of Prussia, Pennsauken, or Westchester. All right, we had Ty come in during the break. Always great conversation that we have off the air, as well as we try to provide you with on the air. So, Aim, I did want to kind of break this down tonight. What's the biggest thing you need from the 76ers? We'll start with that. And what's the biggest thing you cannot get? You have to take away from the New York Knicks.
I'll give you my Spurrier answer. Points.
Points are good.
Steve Spurrier used to always answer like the reporters' questions with just the most obvious, like, "Hey, what's it going to take to win this game?" Like, well, we're going to score more than them. Which
He
is
was
kind
a punch. to the
yeah,
face guy.
exactly, yeah, which is unlikable, but Spur dog. But no, I mean, obviously, you just need a lot more across the board. And we were talking, and you mentioned when Ty came in, you need, and Tobias Harris is going to take the brunt of it because you look at a stat line like he had, right? 3 for 7. Kelly Oubre 3 for 7. Who had a better game?
Yeah, good point.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're looking at minimal. You got 10 points versus 7 points, but Oubre does 5 steals, so much more active. Ideally, you want to get a little bit more out of him, but if you're going to pay for his lack of offense with the stellar defense on Jalen Brunson, I'll pay that. I'll pay that fine. I'll go ahead and
You'll
pay
take
that
that
tax,
payoff,
right?
right.
I'll take that. I need a little bit more. I know people have talked about, oh, don't worry about the bench. I would like to have a little. You can't have the bench just get smoked like that.
No.
That you can't just chalk that up and be like, all right, well, we're just gonna have our starters roll with it. That's all well and good, but you can't have your bench get smoked the way that they did. I don't think that can happen again. So those
Right.
are two things for me. You can't have basically Tobias Harris defensively. He does whatever he can do. You can't have him, really not be as involved on either end of the court. You got to be pick one. If you're like Kelly Oubre and you're going to get great defense, that's great. But then you can't give me 7 points for Tobias Harris on the offense. I can't have that trade-off.
I hated that. Why can't we get both ends?
I mean, I'm talking realistic expectations here, Bob. I'm not just the pipe dream. Yeah, we're looking at like, oh, look at these two-way players and everybody's great and it's 3 and 8. Like, no,
He goes on a string where he has more than 15 points for like 9 out of 10 games. We see what he does offensively. It's great. Oh, this is a great addition. And the other. Then you say, oh, yeah, by the way, this game, we want you to cover their point guard, to cover the guy that controls their team. Does Nick Nurse say don't worry about the offensive end? Seven shots is enough. No, I'm saying in addition to you scoring 18 points for us, yeah, by the way, I also need you to shut down the other team's best
I believe that Karate Mark wanted him to get 16
was
to
it?
18. 16 to 18. He gave us ranges. Yeah, we got to before the bench even came. I think came on board. It was 110 points by my math.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about an ideal world. Yes, you get Kelly Oubre to give you 15, and then also limit Jalen Brunson to 20 points. Listen, pipe dreams. I love it. Then we roll out of the Garden with a 25-point win. Because if that happens, the Sixers can't lose numerically. If the stuff happens that Karate Mark was talking about, and these numbers really come to fruition, I don't see how they could possibly lose because the Knicks just don't have that kind of firepower.
All right, I'm going to take away the offensive rebounding because, look, that is a given of what cannot happen again tonight when the Sixers meet the New York Knicks in Game 2. But what is something else, Aim, that you want to see the Sixers be able to take away from the New York Knicks tonight in order to be successful in this game, too?
I just think you need to take away their heart, and I mean that.
Josh?
Well, yes, but I mean that in the fact that Josh Hart, he's the type of player that steps up. He is a winner. He is a guy that rises to the occasion in big moments. You saw that certainly when he was in college. You've seen that over the time that he's played in the NBA. He's a guy that you may not factor in when you're looking at the sheet, but he's a guy that you have to factor in. And I mean the type of player. We saw it be Josh Hart. You can't have another guy step up like that, whether it's Josh Hart or Deuce McBride or whomever. It really puts the team on his back, so to speak, for some of these like stretches where they really want to extend it. The crowd gets into it. Josh Hart burying 4 3-pointers. Like, what are we doing here? So you need to take out that kind of the guts of the game for them. This is a very gritty team. They believe in themselves. They play fundamentally sound. You got to take them off their game. You got to rip their heart out.
Josh Hart, to me, is the player for the Knicks that defines he is who he is.
Yeah.
Look, he's not the best player on the team. He might be the best rebounder numerically, but I wouldn't say that they went into the season saying he's our best rebounder or anything like that. You're just going to get that out of Josh Hart all the time. It can't be, though, more than that. Like, when the game gets over, you can look and say, man, he had a really good game. Oh, wow, he had 12 rebounds to go with his 10 points or whatever. Wow, that was pretty impressive. It can't be 22 off of 4 made threes.
No.
You know, it can't be. Those little intent, there are things you expect. I expect Jalen Brunson to be better tonight than he was on Saturday.
Jalen Brunson expects that, and I think they'll get it.
Yeah, so, not that you're giving. Again, I'm not giving up points to a guy and just saying, yeah, go ahead, have at it. You know, you're not giving that. But you can't expect to take away the way you took them away on Saturday. Can you therefore say to your players, if you're Nick Nurse, so therefore we have to concentrate on taking away what the others got?
Everything else.
Can it be done?
It can be done. Perimeter defense, because you're not going to maybe dedicate as much resources. They obviously went long and big on the defensive end for Jalen Brunson. They went with a different strategy. Maybe you do more of a one-on-one. I think you could still do both. I think you can probably have some kind of, marriage between the two. But I feel like you can't just the perimeter defense really lacked. There was not a lot of rotation. There was not a lot of activity. I'm sure you saw a better defensive effort in the second half. Adjustments obviously made at halftime, but there wasn't as much movement. Certainly in that second quarter, it was so stale, so stagnant. There was just nothing. There was no motion at all. These guys were getting wide open looks. That's why they got smoked in the second quarter.
Yeah, and the Sixers early on really looked good. When the ball went to Embiid, there was other movement. Weak side of the floor, there was movement. Somebody said to me today, I don't know if it was on our YouTube page, I thought somebody said that Buddy Hield looks really passive. Understand maybe he's not shooting the shot that you want, like shoot, all that. But he moves. Like, when he's out there, he plays.
He's trying to get something going.
He's trying to get something going.
Yep.
I like that. I like that an awful lot. And if I'm Nick Nurse, I might say to my players, hey, listen, when Buddy gets into the game and he's on the weak side of the floor and everybody's expecting him to shoot threes, Buddy's doing a really good job of, like, just floating into the lane. Like, let's not be afraid to maybe hit him with a pass, get him started that way.
We talked about that in games where his three-pointer wasn't going as well as it was when he first got here. He drove the lane. I think a lot of people were surprised by how well he was able to put the ball on the floor. So he recognizes that part of his game. I think he knows he can do that. Let's feed him a little bit. He's working out there. Get a little reward and get him going.
And I think another key for the Sixers tonight, you have to be at least even in the IQ department. And
mental errors.
Yeah, like that Tobias foul with 7.2 seconds to go in the first half, just not smart. Kelly Oubre, it's slight, and it just happened, and you're like, all right, it was one play. But it was a smart play by the Knicks where he was being overplayed, Jalen Brunson. He goes backdoor. He gets the bounce pass backdoor, makes the layup. Kelly Oubre goes for the block and fouls him.
Yeah.
Turns into a three-point play. That's big. I'm not saying it was stupid of Kelly Oubre, but, okay, made the first mistake of losing sight of the ball. Don't make the second mistake in getting a foul there. Tobias Harris picks up his third foul. On a dribble drive, I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong here. Have we seen a whole lot of times this year where he's dribble drives and shoots a floater from 8 feet?
No.
Right?
No.
So he's doing something out of the ordinary. He has 2 fouls. You have the second leading charge taker in the league in Kyle Lowry standing there waiting for you.
Yeah.
And you commit your third foul. And you have the reaction of,
I can't believe I did that.
Yeah, that's another thing I need to see less of. I don't want to see frustration on your faces.
Hand raising.
The hand raising. I don't want to think there's a sniper at the Garden at all tonight. If somebody tweaks an ankle or lands on one leg and that,
with sunglasses on.
What is going on with that? Like, I just got to ask you. All right, the guy got hit. I didn't even hear it was in the eye.
Maybe there's a light sensitivity right now.
So now all of a sudden he's Jim McMahon. Like,
listen.
Is that you did get that reference?
I did.
Okay. So there's a quarterback that played for Chicago Bears. He had eye sensitivity and wore sunglasses all the time. And he also
looked cool, though.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I imagine Joel probably looks cool in sunglasses.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
He doesn't wear shades a lot. That's why the flag was kind of like, what? Why did you don't see him in shades. If you see Allen Iverson in sunglasses, you don't even think twice about it.
Yeah.
He wears them all the time.
Like, what?
Maybe you got a sunglass deal.
Maybe it's part of the
Do you know what?
to.
I didn't know he went away from Under Armour until a couple weeks ago.
What?
Somebody came up. I don't pay attention. Like,
Clearly.
clothes. I told Ray I could cover a game,
Yeah.
write
yeah.
2 stories about it, leave, and somebody could ask me, what'd you think of the game tonight? Great. What'd you think of the Sixers uniform? And I'd be like, I don't know. What were they wearing? Amy, I swear to God, I don't notice those things
All right.
a little bit.
Well,
But he got out of Under Armour, now
it was
he's
at
Skechers.
it was before the season. It was announced he was going to be the new spokesperson. The Skechers got a couple of people. I can't remember who else under their new purview. But there's a lot of different people in the shoe game.
Well,
now.
Howie Long.
Yeah. Yes, I'm not talking about for like leisure comfort.
Aw.
Actually, like in the old man shoe, because Howie Longs are like the
How
slip-ons.
dare you? So I just got a pair not too long ago, and they're delightful.
There you go.
Delightful. I don't use that word ever.
Is it because they have like the Velcro, or is it the slip-on?
No, it's just a slip-on.
slip-on. Listen, I love a no-tie shoe as much as.
Comfort level rarely felt in feetwear.
Listen, I think we have.
And he's back to the
Yeah,
feet.
there we go. But no, it was announced before the season, and it came to fruition. And I think about a month or two ago, like the whole deal was announced, finalized, I guess. But it was known that he was going to be a Skechers guy instead of Under Armour. It's disappointing.
Yeah, I'm
For some people that wore the. Under
I
Armour.
really need to broaden my horizons.
Did you see him down there with the S for the Sketcher? Did you notice when they were? You didn't notice his shoes?
No.
It's
Matt
just-
Cord brought a pair. Either brought in a pair, or had a picture. I forget.
Get a picture of
but
it.
did he? And he showed them to me. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm just like, I remember one time being at the paper
They're
and
probably
and
very comfortable. You might try some.
something happened that somebody got a haircut or did something, and so he's like, oh, we should do a little story on that. And one of the editors like, yeah, Bob doesn't write stories like that because he doesn't know anything.
Did you notice
about
that
I'm
Embiid
just
didn't have the
stupid.
braids?
I did notice that.
All right,
noticed the hair
I wasn't
fully
sure
back.
how far.
All
we
right,
would
when
go.
we get back, we're going to put a wrap on this. I'll get Amy to give her final thoughts on tonight's game. I'll give you mine also, but they're not going to be as good as Amy's because I don't dive into predictions and stuff like that, just because I'm weird. This is Midday Shows, Bob Cooney, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The
Sixers Knicks tonight. Also, don't forget Philly 6:40, but Sixers Knicks 7:30 here on the Fanatic. We will talk to you 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Game 2 tonight. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Progressive Insurance, your small business.